Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Restricted Republic. My name is Justus, and I can't thank you enough for being here. You're going to get 2 intros today, and there's a reason for that, because I need a favor from you right off the top before we jump into a magazine cover that is an absolute abomination. Not even shocked, unfortunately, that they printed it, because nothing should surprise you anymore. The evils around us are out of control. It's showing this new government in the new God, and I'm gonna show you little g, by the way. And atrocious. But there's something else going on in the background right now that has raised my cause for concern. So I need a huge favor from you. If you haven't gone over to Restricted Republic yet, right now we're still giving you 14 days for free. We have $5 a month going on for the next 12 months if you use discount code TRUMP at monthly checkout. Our family over there has grown greatly. That will be our end platform. We got behind a paywall for very good reason. You're watching it now. You're hearing what the media is saying. You're watching everybody get shut down. We don't call for violence. We call for legal means to change things, but they don't seem to care about that, because if you're out of line with their opinion, that seems to be all that matters. So the first favor is to get to restrictedrepublic.com. As quickly as possible. If you absolutely do not have the means to do that, we continue, and I'm going to show you where this cause for concern came in. We've also started a new platform over on Rumble, and you'll notice there the top video, Pre-Crime Kraken, at 16,000 views, and we only have over there right now about 8.2 thousand subscribers. 8.2 thousand subscribers, 16,000 views. The same video, which was published here on YouTube, as you see on your screen, only received 7,000 views. Now, I didn't promote it the way I normally did. It was unmonetized, so there was no use. But I have 30-some-odd thousand subscribers. On a platform where I only have 8,000, the video did over double, and that's been going on for a long time now. It's why you've seen us move over to Mayway and Gab, or MeWe and Gab, depending on how you pronounce it. If you haven't joined us there, again, I need you to do that immediately. Our way of communicating with you. A more direct way is to go to Telegram. I'll send you a direct message every time we publish a video, no matter where it's published. That way you're always notified. And again, MeWe or Mayway, depending on how you like to pronounce it, has grown exponentially. It's ultra urgent you do this today. And again, take us up on that Restricted Republic offer as I go into our official opening now of this video. And again, I thank each of you for joining us here today. It's a mega broadcast. It's one that's going to upset you in many ways. It's this new little g god of government that is being formed. It's been going on for many administrations. I'm not going to declare this is something new. It's absolutely not. There's the what, and then there's the how. This video is going to be rather lengthy, so right now we're going to cover the what. And the what is going on involves a few things. Let me lead you into this first. You saw my title. You saw the title of CULTholicism, as I called it. And there was a reason for that. It's just obviously a spin of words off Catholicism for very good reason. This is a new cult of religion that they've been attempting to form for some time, where your government is your little g god. You've watched this movement happen for a long time now. Why is that happening, you might ask? Well, I'll give you a few hints. We're going to start here with Edward Bernays and what he stated. The conscious, intelligent manipulation of the organized opinions and habits of the masses is an important element in a democratic society. Yes, I know we're a republic. However, it appears everybody in government doesn't give two poops about that. So he goes on to state, we are governed, our minds molded, our tastes formed, our ideas suggested largely by men we have never heard of. In almost every act of our lives, whether in the sphere of politics or business, in our social conduct or our ethical thinking, we are dominated by the relatively small number of persons who understand the mental process and social patterns of the masses. It is they who pull the wires to control the public mind. It is they who are the puppeteers controlling the puppets who are in government. We watch this for a long time. Government is funded by big money. If you don't have big money, unfortunately, in the political federal landscape today, you simply don't compete. It's trickled down into the state level too. The bigger money game they can make it, the further away from the representation of we the people occurs. It's what's happening now. It's why you don't see people in politics anymore who represent us. They've all become big money pawns. It's how they've created and recycled and recreated government. But I have a bigger concern, and you know we've reported on this for some time now. This imagery that was happening, that is an abomination. And you see it there with Joe Biden, and you see it again with Joe Biden, the halo effect. We reported on this a long time ago, and now it's all going to take shape for you very quickly here, because out comes the following cover. I'll give you a few seconds. As a matter of fact, I'll make that just center screen for you. You see Joe Biden there in the center. The abomination, as I call it. They call it this article, a jest. It's satire. Is it? I'm not so sure it is. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not so sure it is. But before we do, let's start with this.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Well, that's changing a little bit now. That meaning is twisted a little bit now when you put into what Joe Biden is asking for you to do for your country. And don't you dare disagree or ask what your country is going to do for you. Just follow the rules that are being set forth. Look at the rash of executive orders. Look at the new focus around COVID-19. It starts to put everything into focus. Now, there'll be some counter arguments to this, but we're going to put those aside quickly. Render, therefore, unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. That should be a simple statement. That's what belongs to the government, and what belongs to God, and never shall those two be intermingled. But unfortunately, nowadays they are, aren't they? Because now we're being asked to worship things that we're not to worship. Plain and simple. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. Just go back to some of the imagery that's occurring, and you'll start to understand how this abomination is occurring now. It's not only been Joe Biden. Let me tell you that right off the bat. To be fair, there has been images of Trump also. And prior to him, there was images of Obama. Same thing again. That's the media propagating this image, showing you this godly-like nature that is the abomination to begin with. Obama was by far the largest one they've used this on, and I've shown many people this, and they're like, nah, it never existed. No, it actually did exist. It's been going on for some time. I just want to show you that to be fair to the argument. But now how does this start to structure into what Joe Biden's decisions are and making government this little g God? There is something being concocted in the dens of power far beyond the public eye, and it doesn't bode well for the future of this country. Anytime you have an entire nation so mesmerized by political theater and public spectacle that they are oblivious to all else, you better beware. And so, this spectacle, and we're going to start here in the top side of this picture, this spectacle of government. You've seen everything. All focus on federal government. What have I told you? Stop focusing so much attention on federal government. That's where they want it. That makes them that little g God they want to be. And now this cover takes it a step further. Just look around, and we'll go full screen again just so you get to see the whole thing in clear focus. You'll see up on the top Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Obama sitting there, floating above Joe Biden in this godly-like presentation, this abomination presentation, with Twitter there in his ears. Dr. Fauci over on the left, and of course, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. Well, we'll take piece by piece because obviously Dr. Fauci is back in the news again. He has that liberating feeling for not having to report to Trump anymore, and taking some backpedals now on COVID-19 also, saying in some ways, although he's pessimistic, that there is some softening occurring, just like with the World Health Organization announcing that there has been a differentiation now in some of the testing that they've been giving. They're giving new clarifications, auspicious timing to say the least, but we'll see where that proves out. Joe Biden now, who says to trust a scientist. This makes sense that he put Dr. Fauci center focus. Trust a scientist. Remember that. Trust science. As we expand this broadcast, we're going to get into the hypocrisy of that statement that he fell into almost immediately afterwards. But then you had Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer there over on the right, remembering they're just capturing this image, kneeling before another deity of sorts, in this case, solidarity, as they stated it, for BLM. Again, what's happened with government, the removal of our history, the attempted removal of God from all of government continues. Except, and this gentleman points this out very nicely, the libertarian, who now libertarians also under attack. So the left went from keep religion out of government at all costs to the government is our religion. And this picture portrays that, but there's reasons and fundamentals behind this. Many of you are familiar. I care not what puppet is placed on the throne of England to rule the empire on which the sun never sets. The man who controls Britain's money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the British money supply. Nathan Rothschild. Now, why is that so critical? Why is that such a major portion of this story in this magazine? Because as you start to understand that the mainstream media, now magazine cover, has tried to make this current administration into the little g god of government, it's because everything changes when you give all power to government. When you give all control to government, when you have a crisis on your hands where everybody's looking to the federal government to solve it. But Justice, we're powerless. What do we do about this? They're putting down mandates. Well, mandates that can't be enforced at the state level unless the states say yes. That's why we continue to cycle back to state government. Remembering now those who manipulate the unseen mechanisms of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of the country. That was the quote from the pioneer of corporate PR and propaganda. Corporate PR and propaganda, Edward Bernays, who took this big corporation, and let's just go back to this main image here. Because if you start to trickle down in the image a little bit further, you see the mainstream media there in the center. You see those reading the White House memoirs. More than likely, they're probably referencing Obama's memoirs. And then down in the bottom are us little people. Down in the bottom are us little people. Look at the images from the inauguration. Everybody lifted up high. Where was everybody else? Well, virtually nobody was there to begin with. But us little people, who didn't watch it, by the way, we just have to see the images now afterwards. Well, that's where they want us now. And so as you watch executive order after executive order, and you see magazine covers like this, which us little people down there in their masks, looking up to the government, which, by the way, just so everybody notices, nobody at the top of the magazine is wearing a mask at all. Just the bottom. So that's the what of what's happening right now. That's how they're framing this up. Government, little g god. People, small. Under control. John F. Kennedy, in that clip I played you, ask not what your government can do for you. You must play your role in what the government asks you to do. Look at the executive orders as we start to expand this now as to the why, the complete cycle of why. I try to always keep my time here short. I wanted to get to you, this magazine cover, this abomination that occurred, so you understand. And look at the top, by the way, the drones waiting and hovering and watching. There's a lot more going on than meets the eye with this photo. And we can continue it even more. But For interest of time, I wanted to make sure we presented what was going on in the imagery now being presented to you, the reasoning as to why they're presenting that imagery. If you're interested in more information, of course, we extend this on to a much greater length, going into the mechanisms underneath, including why is the Green New Deal so imperative? Why is that the big part of this? Why are they shutting down the Keystone Pipeline? Why are they moving into these economic variables? What's going to happen with the money supply? What's going to happen with the dollar value? What's going to happen with, we can continue to go. There's so much information, but again, I try to respect your time here always. This is even a little bit longer than I wanted to leave it. So if you haven't yet gone to restrictedrepublic.com, please do. It's imperative. 14 days for free, as I had mentioned. $5 a month for the next 12 months by using discount code Trump. Get over to MeWe, Mayway, Gab, or Telegram. Make sure you follow us there so we can continue to notify you of upcoming broadcasts. But that cover should never... It's just not okay, folks. It's not okay. I'm going to point out to you when things aren't okay moving forward. I'm going to point out to you when government continues to get bigger and larger and more consuming, which it is. This isn't a Biden or Trump thing. This isn't an Obama or Trump thing. This isn't Obama or Biden or Nixon or Kennedy or continue to go on. This is big government. The people who are actually ruling us. And it's not the government that we will always expose. And why? Then why? Would one of my platforms decide, your videos, well, that's just not okay? Seriously? If you haven't subscribed, I certainly hope you will. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.